Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Russ Riesinger. Another day and another big jump of COVID-19 cases in Montana. With the virus spreading and positive cases continuing to go up, one local county is taking extra steps to protect people, making wearing masks mandatory when out in public. Well, this comes as the state is reporting another death as well as another double-digit jump in cases. State health officials attribute the latest death to a case connected to Rosebud County. 29 new cases are reported today, bringing the active cases to 220 now. Yellowstone and Bighorn counties each have 34 active cases tonight. Well, in response, Bighorn County health officials ordered all residents to wear face masks when outside their homes. Q2's David J. standing by now live in the Q2 newsroom with details on that order. David?
Russ, recent increases in COVID-19 led health officials to the decision on the mask order. That mask order is required when within 6 feet of another person. Bighorn County Attorney Jay Harris says his office will not enforce the order. He says prosecutors must always ensure the protection of the rights and liberties of citizens. In a news release, Harris writes, "There is simply no situation or circumstance justifying a criminal prosecution of a non-COVID positive person for not wearing a face mask in public, and my office will not give any such circumstance any prosecutorial review." The county's COVID-19 incident commander talked about not issuing citations.
I really don't sense that that's going to ever be issued. Enforcement for a type of order like this is going to be peer pressure and knowing yourself that you're doing the right thing. And some of that is the only way you're going to get compliance. But at the same time, too, we want to make certain that people are adherent to the order.
And we spoke with Bill Hodges this evening, and he says the order was vetted through the State Department of Public Health and Human Services Legal Division. Meanwhile, Crow Tribal Chair A.J. Notafrate also issued an order requiring the masks wearing in public as well. Russ?
All right, thank you, David. Well, the U.S. has shattered another record tonight. Nearly 45,000 people diagnosed with the coronavirus in the last 24 hours alone. The country's three biggest states, California, Texas, and Florida, are all seeing huge jumps. That's forcing governors to close businesses, including bars that had only recently reopened. Almost half of all new cases now come from those states, mainly from people under the age of 35. The nation's top infectious disease doctor says that's because young people may be pushing to get back to normal too quickly, unintentionally putting many others at risk. Now, real estate agents are saying people are more interested in moving to Montana right now because they want to escape the pandemic. MTN's Katie Miller has more on what some are calling the coronavirus migration.
Real estate is seeing all kinds of changes during the pandemic, from virtual showings
and the front entrance
to people deciding not to sell their homes.
When COVID was at its worst, we had the lowest amount of homes going for list.
Now that the state of Montana is reopened, real estate agents say they're seeing an increase in interest from out-of-state buyers.
People are looking for that space, the beauty of Montana, and probably less congestion, really.
Missoula Organization of Realtors President DJ Smith says there is always an increase in home buying interest during the summer, but pandemic restrictions in other places are pushing people to really make the move. According to Montana Regional MLS data, people are buying more homes in Missoula County. In May of 2019, there were almost 1,700 closed sales. This year, there were almost 1,800 closed sales. In Flathead County, closed sales increased from just over 1,900 last May to just over 2,100 this May. Montana is a non-disclosure state, meaning data from the number of out-of-state buyers to in-state buyers is not available. But Smith says, anecdotally, the pandemic seems to be the last straw for some home buyers.
They were already deciding to come to Montana or other surrounding areas, and this was just an accelerant of their plans.
Cindy and Pablo Rodriguez have been planning to leave California for a couple of years.
Here in LA, it's tough to raise a child nowadays, and then especially with the whole COVID thing happening too, that actually it triggered a lot of thinking for us.
They recently put an offer in on a house in Billings.
Then it comes down to quality of life. I mean, what are you looking for? You pay well here, but if you can't enjoy it, then what do you?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, we're moving for our son.
Their son is 2 years old, and Cindy says they want to give him a better life in Montana.
What we look forward to is meeting new faces and new friends.
Hopefully they become friends with our kids too.
Yeah.
Their agent, Nancy Brooke, says she's gotten calls from people in New York, California, Washington, and Colorado, all looking to move.
As long as interest rates are low, as long as Montana continues to have a better economy than other places in the United States, I anticipate that more and more people will be looking to locate to our state.
In Missoula, Katie Miller, MTN News.
And Smith says some people looking for homes in Missoula have noticed a lack of inventory, a problem that he says existed even before the pandemic. An update tonight, more than 1 year after a Missoula man opened fire, shooting 4 people in western Montana. Today, the 2 surviving victims, including Montana Highway Patrol Trooper Wade Palmer, were in the Missoula District Court courtroom as their attacker, Jonathan Birch, pleaded guilty to several charges, including deliberate homicide.
As to count 1, deliberate homicide, how do you plead?
Guilty.
As to count 2, attempted deliberate homicide, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Birch is charged with 2 separate shootings within hours that killed 2 people and critically wounded 2 others, including Trooper Palmer. In the first attack, Birch killed Shelley Hayes and wounded Casey Blanchard and his mother Julie off Expressway Boulevard in Missoula. Several hours later, Birch ambushed Trooper Palmer in Evero, Montana, shooting him several times in the head, leaving Palmer with a traumatic brain injury. Casey's mother, Julie Blanchard, died 3 months later from complications of multiple gunshot wounds. The Missoula County Attorney's Office might be seeking a venue change to accommodate all the people who might want to attend the sentencing when it's officially scheduled. Well, the U.S. Supreme Court expected to decide a Montana case next week that challenges separation of church and state, specifically Montana's constitutional ban to religious schools. Similar bans exist in 38 states. The Supreme Court ruling could allow students in religious schools the ability to seek private scholarships funded through state income tax credits. All right, Bob McGuire joining us now with the first look at weather. And Bob, we've got some changes, at least for the second half of the weekend.
Of course,
it looks like.
It's been very hot and dry, and so we're going to change it now, the weather pattern, to a very cool and wet one. Let me show you. First off, we start off at 93 degrees tomorrow, and then all of a sudden we drop down to 72. And look at that on Sunday. So what's happening? Well, it's a big change, and now we have some showers and thunderstorms moving in. So our high-resolution forecast model shows there's where we are Saturday morning, but then look at this. By the time Saturday afternoon gets there, about 6 o'clock, here comes some showers moving in. Then the rest of the night, Saturday night, some heavy thunderstorms. By Sunday, here comes some more thunderstorms moving in again about 1 o'clock, and then even right onto that night, looking for more showers and thunderstorms across the region. How much rain are we going to get? Well, according to the computer models, they say about 1.25 inches expected right on through Tuesday night in the Billings area. Other places like Great Falls, Cut Bank, and Missoula could see well over 2 inches of rainfall in those areas. We'll see how much rain everybody gets. It looks like we'll finally get a nice drink of water, though, for your yard and maybe your farm fields. We'll have more in your forecast in a few more minutes.
All right, thank you, Bob. The hills are alive with the sound of motorcycles, and that's music to the ears of a lot of people hoping for some help kickstarting the economy. Q2's Jenny Fick has more from the Nitro National Pro Hill Climbs taking place right now near Columbus.
First NAHA Pro Hill Climb event of the year kicked off in Columbus,
the
Montana.
13th annual Nitro National Pro Hill Climb, and we have a record Friday.
The event features a 450 series, 700 series, X Climb, and Open Series racing.
I've been coming to this event ever since it started. I've been doing this for 39 years now straight. I should have quit a long time ago, but it's so much fun. Exciting hill, a lot of jumps, a lot of speed, a lot of cliffs, and a lot of wrecks with all that said. So, you know, it's a great spectator sport. You know, it's a great time to get out. Everybody's been cooped up. It's nice to get out here in the mountains and have a good time.
Big names, which means more ticket sales and more of a draw to athletes, as well as camp spots.
Yeah, I'm from Cottonwood, California. Been coming out here for about 10 years now, and I love it. I love the great state of Montana. I love the people. I love this hill. It's super fun. Like Travis was saying, it's really hard and technical. And we love it. You know, it's kind of what we want as pro hill climbers. It's a tough hill. We don't want it easy. We want to give the fans a good show, and I like getting scared sometimes.
New York, Wisconsin, Nebraska, all over. Thank you for doing it. You know, we're all being social distance. We're following the directions of the health department, and the best part is all these food vendors. They're local. They're from here.
A lot of events have been canceled, but we're so happy to be out and about.
This was their first event of the year.
Here involved has just been
happy. I mean, they're making money again. They can afford their bills.
This event is always the best event we have. A lot of people are supporting it, and we love the community. They support it a lot. So we love Montana. They're really awesome people here. So.
We're out here having a good time. We hope everybody comes down and enjoys it with us.
Reporting from Columbus, Jenny Fick, MTN News.
Thank you, Jenny. And Scott will have more on the hill climb coming up a little later in sports. Also still to come on tonight's 10 o'clock news, getting hands-on experience can be crucial for students in the medical field. And that's been a challenge for many because of COVID-19. And later, we take a look at how the pandemic is affecting one of the main reasons many people come to Montana in the summer to try their hand at fly fishing.
You're watching MTN News with Janelle Slade and Russ Riesinger, Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire, and sports with Scott Breen. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.